Hi everyone, my name is Linda Brown and I'm the current president of NJ Sophie, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the results from the Membership Needs Assessment Survey that was conducted earlier this year in 2019. As a little bit of background, our NJ Sophie chapter is required to do a member needs assessment every 5 years by Sophie. So this is an opportunity for us, while updating our strategic plan, to really make sure that the work being done by the board is meeting the needs of our members. So to start, I just wanted to thank each of our members who completed the survey and taking the time to do that. We did have a total of 73 responses, which was just shy of 50% of our membership. I also wanted to draw your attention to the right side of this slide. A big congratulations to our 5 randomly selected raffle winners. Each of these 5 individuals received a $15 Amazon gift card for their participation. As we walk through the next several slides, I'm going to give you just a brief overview of each of the questions that we asked, and you can look a little deeper into some of the responses. So the first question is, how long have you been a member of NJ Sophie? And as you can see from here, the vast majority of those who completed the survey have been members for 5 years or less, but we did have a relatively large section of those that have been members for 6 to 15 years as well. Next one was, how long have you been in the health field? Here we saw a larger group of individuals from 1 to 15 years, but we're really looking at newer and more middle career health educators who completed this particular survey. And I will say that just moving back to that also does indicate the composition of our membership relatively closely. So the type of membership here, you'll see that the vast majority are general members, meaning that they are kind of active in the field health educators. Next question was, who pays your NJ Sophie dues? So the majority of the people that completed the survey are paying for them themselves. This is one question that I was personally surprised that we didn't have more employers paying for their dues or their membership registrations. Next one was highest health education certification. So as you can see here, again, the vast majority are CHES. We did have a fair bit of MCHES. And I wanted to point out here that the none is likely indicating the number of students who completed the survey as well. If you don't already know, you can't take the CHES exam until you are at least 90 days, or I'm sorry, less than 90 days from your anticipated graduation date. Okay, so this next one is, how do you obtain the majority of your CHES or MCHES credits? We did ask individuals to choose up to 2 responses here. So it's good for us to see that the majority of the individuals that completed the survey did say NJ Sophie sponsored events were their main source of credit. The next most popular was the state, county, and local government sponsored event, as well as other national health related responses. On the right side, you can also see the fill-in answers here. Other organizational information, whether it be webinars or NJEHA that are listed there, could arguably be placed into some of the categories that are on the left side here. Next question is, what were your main reasons for joining NJ Sophie? We asked you to choose up to 3. So what we find is the most popular here are CHES and MCHES credits, which again match the previous slide about where you're getting the most CHES and MCHES credit. The next one was networking, followed by career development and job postings. I would say that these items are really some of the main priorities of our organization, so it is nice to see that that was I guess an important consideration when choosing to join NJ Sophie. Now, similarly, we asked you what was the most valuable benefit as you have been a member. So again, here we asked individuals to choose up to 3. The answers are actually quite similar to the previous slide. So really, what has kept you involved? So again, our CHES and MCHES credits, networking, job posting, and then also another highly rated answer here was keeping up to date with the profession. I know this is a bit of a busy slide, but this was a fill-in answer. So we asked what other types of professional development opportunities were you looking to see? And this would be in addition to our current webinars and in-person programs that we offer. So here you'll see that a number of you are looking to have kind of topic-specific trainings. Many have offered that this might be an appropriate opportunity for webinars. And I will just throw out there, you'll see there's a question about volunteering, but if you're not already part of the program committee and you're interested or have some specific ideas in mind, that would be a really excellent way to lend your own perspective to our organization. Other items here that mirror some of the opportunities or the things that have been listed previously, networking and social events again are here. Networking through mobile devices a little bit further down, half-day conferences, having other opportunities really to connect and volunteer together. So you can see on here the more detailed responses. Our next question was to indicate your preference for NG-SOPI webinar times. And I suppose, unsurprisingly, this is really an even split between morning, midday, afternoon, and evening. What I can say is that we have tried to switch around the timing of the webinars to meet the needs of each of you in your professional or academic settings. Okay, so this one here is asking you what the 5 top professional skill building areas that you're interested in. So this you were asked for 5, that's why there is such a high rate of responses here. So some of the most popular answers here were health communication, health literacy, and social marketing, the community outreach and engagement, project management, program planning and implementation, theories and models, leadership and supervision. And again, there are quite a lot here, and it is nice to see that there is such an interest here. Again, tying this to potential webinar and or in-person training. If you have ideas of specific components of this, the program committee would be a really excellent opportunity for you to lend your thoughts. This is for the same question. There were a couple of open-ended responses here. So you can see on the slide, skill management, older adult outreach, and timely health education topics. Okay, so this question here is the 5 subject content areas of interest. We again asked for you to select 5, and there are 2 slides here. There were quite a few options here. And on this particular slide, the most prevalent was nutrition and physical activity related, followed by health equities and health disparities, chronic disease, access to health care, mental health, environmental health. Again, these are opportunities for us to sort of answer your desires, particularly in the program capacity. On this slide here, you'll see the continuation. Social determinants of health also is very highly rated, as well as women's health, trauma-informed care, and substance abuse and opioids in school and adolescent health. You can also see a couple of the items that were listed as fill-ins. So worksite wellness, stress management, evidence-based ways to impact your community, and then behavior change and communication. Okay, so this question asked about your preferred location for NG-SOPI in-person meetings. And again, we do typically offer these 2 times a year, in June for our mid-year meeting and in December for our annual meeting. You can see the most popular response here is Northern New Jersey. And when this was gone over with the board, this was really an important item to see, as many of our programs have been centrally located in the effort to try to allow for both our northern and southern colleagues. There is quite a bit of discussion about moving at least one of those programs to the northern region based on these results. As always, if you have any suggestions on specific locations, or if your organization might be able to host a meeting, I would absolutely recommend that you reach out to us on that regard. Okay, and here we are asking for your social media platform preferences. As of right now, we only have a Facebook page. We have been in conversation for quite a few months about updating our social media platform, as well as our communication plans. So you'll see that the top 2 requested or choices here are LinkedIn and Instagram. This is being discussed in our strategic plan. So I would, I guess, cautiously say that you will likely see one or both of these in the future, again, based on what the membership is asking for. Okay, and then this again is around social media. Here, we're really looking to pinpoint what it is that you would like to get from the social media presence. So program and event announcements were our most popular response here. Also advertising for social and networking events, news related to health promotion, global health promotion information, followed by advocacy updates were our most popular answers. And again, this is really helpful for us as we do continue to review our communications plans and determine exactly what content is relevant and important for the membership. Okay, and then this is related, the next question is related to networking. I can tell you that networking events have taken a stronger, I guess, preference and a stronger hold on some of what our organization has been focusing on. So here you can see that our two most popular answers for time is a weekday evening. And many of our events have been happening in sort of the late evening, late afternoon, evening during the week. And then that was tied with a happy hour following our annual meeting. I do want to say here right now that we are planning to have our 35th anniversary celebration, which will be an informal networking event after our annual meeting this year. That's going to be scheduled for December 6th. It will be immediately following our annual meeting at the Rutgers Club, which is pretty much right next door to our annual meeting location at the Livingston Student Center. So given these results, I really do hope that we will see many of you there to celebrate NJSOPI now as well as in the past. This is related again to communication. So how often would you prefer to hear from NJSOPI? Here we're looking at kind of a split between all of the responses, but weekly seems to be the most popular response here. Again, this is important for us as we continue to evaluate our communication plan and move forward with our strategic planning activities. Okay, so this was related to volunteering. As you likely know, our board is made up of a number of positions, all of which are volunteer-led. So you can see a mix here that there are a number of individuals who completed this that are either actively serving or have served on a board or committee. And the secondary question to this was, what would help you or persuade you to be more involved? The main response here was not having a clear understanding of what the expectation is, also not having enough time. And then there were some other answers here about the ability to connect virtually, have meetings locally. And I will say the majority of our committees do meet just simply via conference calls or do their work through email. So if you're out there thinking that you might be involved, I would again welcome you to reach out to info@njsopi.org, and we would love to hear from you and explain some of our opportunities to get more involved. I will say this is a real bright spot for the board. We were really, really, really excited to see that the vast majority of those who completed this survey were either satisfied or very satisfied with their membership. This, for us, I think helps to validate some of the work that's being done behind the scenes. And this question here is related to how we could serve you better. So you'll see between this slide and the next slide, there's some major categories. You'll see some of the themes that have come through in some of the other talking points. So programming here, we're looking at having more availability, having trainings that are in different areas. We saw in a previous slide, having more available in the northern region is something that had come up. Having networking built into the programming. That leads us into the networking as a secondary category. Again, here we saw a positive piece for more events. Again, very much on our radar. The next category was jobs. Again, we saw this as a main reason that people are both joining and staying involved. So there's some specific mentions to having more jobs available throughout the state, potentially a job fair, as well as volunteer opportunities. And then the other items that were cited were related to advocacy. So having more advocacy updates on the federal and New Jersey level. There are opportunities to increase or enhance communication, some of which you had already heard about related to social media. Organizationally, having a better connection with our academic partners. And then one of the other items of note is a study partner for CHES. And this is something considering that we have the number of students that completed this. I know this is something that has been long talked about and considered both with the Academic Advisory Board as well as just some of our board members as well. So with that, I thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate your continued membership. And if you do have any questions on this on the survey as it was, or the process of our strategic plan, I would welcome you to reach out to us. And we will be offering a very brief overview of these results as well as the corresponding action items for our strategic plan at the December 6th annual program. So please keep an eye out for those upcoming announcements and the sign up likely in October. Thank you.